Greetings. This is Dr. Toke Obasi Bey, back once again for part 5 of our series on communication, speaking on what communication is and how it's going to work for us as far as a nation of people, how it's going to work for us as individuals, and bringing this unity together, that unified thought. So we're going to deal with part 5 of this. So far we've dealt with what communication is and how it works. You know, the communication is that ideal being transmitted from one party to the next, and then so from the transmitter to the receiver, and then the ideal being processed by the receiver and then being sent back to the transmitter. That ebb and flow of communication. We've said there's basic 3 types of communication, or at least 3 types of understanding communication. We've also said that understanding communication is, it's not just speaking but also listening. Listening is part of communication, because communication is not one-sided. It's not just talking at somebody, but it's actually sending the ideal and then listening to what's being how it's been processed, and from there continuing that ebb and flow, or that rotation or electrical circuit of conversation that we were talking about earlier. Like we said, you know what communication is. It's the transmitting of the ideal and how it works in that pyramid shape, or that triangle of transmitter, receiver, and back to the beginning. We also know there's like 3 basic types of breaks down or mental thought processes and breaking down what's being transmitted. You have the visual person who breaks down the information in the visual context. You have the auditory person who breaks down the information in the auditory or audio context, and then you have the kinetic person who breaks it down in a physical or emotion type context. And those are the basic 3 types of understandings when it comes to communication on a verbal level. Today, since we talked about those in the last 4 videos, we'll be talking about tone and how tone works with communication. Once again, if we're going to get to this point of telepathy, we have to understand all aspects of it, because tone is a very key part. I'm sure you Moorish know that vibration is a very key part, and tone is a very key part of verbal communication. So we're going to deal with tone. I'm going to use a couple references once again to kind of bring or solidify the idea that I'm transmitting across to you all. One is going to come out as Webster's Reference Dictionary. I think its year is 70, 75 or 71, and out of this Dictionary of Theories, a small part out of that. But so I'm going to read out a Dictionary of Theories first, and then we're going to get into the Webster's part of it, of tone. When you look in the Dictionary of Theories, when it says tone, it tells you to look at the 4 kinds of meaning of literary tone. And we deal with the literary tone, there's 4 kinds of meanings as established by this English theorist Ivor Armstrong Richards. It says, as a preliminary theoretical basis for literary study, Richards distinguishes 1. Sense, items which are spoken about. 2. Feeling, speakers' feeling on attitudes towards those items. 3. Tone, attitude to the listener. 4. Intention, the speaker's purpose, or conscious or unconscious. So in reading that, in understanding the 4 types of meaning literary, how one breaks down this word, or the word process. He breaks down feeling, or sense, feeling, tone, and intention. That plays in very well, because most of us know from text messaging that a lot is lost in the text because there is no tone, and so you lose some of the essence of what's being put across because you can't understand the energy that's being put in to the words because they're only symbols, on a device. And so this is why tone is very, very important. So also I want to read out of this Webster's dictionary. There's a part in this Webster's reference dictionary that's called the Secretary's Handbook, and I'm gonna read out a section of that because I think it has a lot to do with what we're talking about. So I'm gonna read it, and then we'll put it into context of what's going on with what we're talking about. Okay, it goes, one form of communication not mentioned above is that mechanical wonder known as the telephone. The voice a caller hears when you answer your telephone is frequently the only introduction that caller has to you. Your voice communicates a mental picture of you to the caller. The image created depends entirely on your voice and your good telephone manners. Your voice is your means of communication. Your voice is you. Wow. That little small part right there, it's not all of it, but that small part right there says a lot, especially if we, for those who biblically incline, if you remember John 1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. We'll start to understand from what we just read who or what is God and how that relates to you. But let me read the rest of this. The tone of your voice says a lot about you. When you talk on the phone, the person on the other end of the line can tell whether you are happy or dejected, excited or bored, or in a good or bad mood. If you allow emotions such as frustration or anger to creep into your voice, its tone changes, and so does the picture you are projecting. By controlling your feelings, you send across the wire as pleasing a picture of your personality as you want the person on the other end to receive. Try sending a smile across the telephone line. The picture your voice projects is important, whether you use the phone to place an urgent business call or just for a social visit. Any number of factors can alter your telephone voice. Emotion is a major influence, but many other things contribute too. The speed and volume with which you speak, the clarity of your voice, and the inflections you use all combine to help form your telephone image. Now, putting that in context, saying all that helps to form your telephone image, when we put that in context with the fact of telepathy, your mental image that you project across works in the same manner with your thoughts. Same way with your voice and the tone, your thought and the tones of your thought also will project that mental thought of yourself. So the gist of that, what we're getting is that emotions can be evaluated or discerned in communication. Not just the words, but the feeling of them, because of tone or vibration, as we as scientists understand. Works with everything, the frequency. How tone and how we're going to talk about it today in the matter after what I just read is very important, because how you speak to people says a lot, and it also opens doors for you and it also closes doors for you. People will say, kill them with kindness. I say heal them with kindness. There's nothing wrong with being firm. Prophet says, that we're supposed to be upright, independent, and fearless. And so, but that doesn't mean condescending or boisterous or vicious with our words. So tone, those two demonstrations kind of says a lot, but tone, Moorish, is very important. Tone, the vibration, how slow, how fast, this works because if we understand once again through the example of electricity in a circuit, the higher the tone or the higher the vibration of the voice, the more energy being moved through the circuit. And this is once again how we have to start understanding how to communicate with each other as more, because we are vibrating on a high level, and we got to start understanding that we have to be aware of our tone and how it's inputting into the next person, because we don't know how much the next person can absorb, how much they already have built up, and how much we're putting on top of that. We just don't know. So we have to be very conscious to make sure that we have the ebb and flow of communication, so that nothing is destructive. So tone is very important. So we got why communication is important, how people break down communication, and as those are the receivers, and as a transmitter, tone is very important. Even as a transmitter, how people receive the information is very important. And so we have to really concentrate on that more. I'm not going to say too much more on the subject, because hopefully one day I'll do a whole lecture on this and not just small little short pieces. But I just want you to think about that, how you speak to people. Just think about it, and how that can help us manifest, because if you use the wrong tone with people, you can shut your doors down, or the opportunities that are there for you. But with the right tone, as the prophet said, you know, I can make a spirit to make, you know, I can bring a spirit in to make everybody happy, you know what I'm saying? Or I can bring the spirit in to have you ready to fight. And that spirit is the tone of things. And on that note, I want to say all praises to Allah, honors to His Prophet, honors to you for honoring yourself. Thank you for taking the time out to listen. I know this one's a little bit longer than usual, but on the subject of tone, it's very important that we know that in communication that, you know, understand how you're talking to people, because tone is very important. Too soft of a tone will get you ran over. Too strong of a tone will have people putting up barriers, or have them shrinking away from you because it's too much for them. So in the mental thought of understanding that, also when we try to finally get to telepathy, remember the tone of your thought. Too much of a certain tone or topic, really tone, can be too much, or too strong can be too much. We know we all have a lot to share, and that's very exciting to us, but people also have things they want to share to us, and people like sharing things with other people that they think that they can share things with. If you know too much, you know, people don't want to talk to you because they feel like they have nothing to bring to you. So we gotta work on that. Alright, till next time, peace, love, and law. Peace.